Happy Saturday, happy Sunday. It's Peter Dills. It's 7 o'clock. That means it's time for Dining with Dills. Are you hungry yet? On with the show. Hey, it's Peter Dills with Dining with Dills. Right now we're in Costa Mesa, California at the Karl Strauss Brewery. I'm with the head brewer, Matt Johnson, and Matt has made his way up from San Diego to join us today for this special segment. Karl Strauss began his career at the Pabst Brewing Company in 1939. Fast forward to 1989, Karl Strauss Brewing Company opened its doors in downtown San Diego and kicked off the city's craft beer industry. Along the way, Karl Strauss is credited with starting over 30 different breweries. Karl Strauss has long since retired, but let me tell you, his legacy continues on. The Karl Strauss Brewery is located in San Diego. The brewery, that is, but they have restaurants all over Southern California. So if you're going into a supermarket or another restaurant and you do see a Karl Strauss on tap or at your local market that they have it in a bottle, it's brewed in San Diego. But friends, I've got something for you. If you go to Costa Mesa Brewery, Matt Johnson is the head brewer, and he has some special beers on tap here too. This is Matt Johnson, head brewer of the Karl Strauss Brewery.
How you doing, Peter?
What do we have today that we're going to talk about and actually pair up with some of your Karl Strauss food from the kitchen?
Some of the beers we have today are Red Trolley Red Ale. It's a multi-award-winning red ale, Irish-style red ale. We have our Tower 10 IPA. We have our Big Barrel Double IPA, which is what you were talking about, and then we also have our Rec Alley Russian Imperial Stout. That is a great dessert beer, and we'll get to that later on when we talk about dessert.
Pairing wine with food, it's been done. But craft beer, this dish right here, these pork chops, I think even Karl Strauss, he'd be proud of. What do we got here?
These are our beer brine pork chops. These pork chops have been brined in Red Trolley, which we have right here, to create a real good caramelization on the outside of that pork chop and give it a little sweetness. This beer pairs really well with this dish because of that Red Trolley that's used to brine these pork chops. Also complements the sweetness of the sauce and helps cut through the spiciness of that Asian mustard that's in this dish. It's excellent pairing. Okay, Peter, the next dish we have is our carne asada fries served with our Tower 10 IPA.
Okay, so you were telling me about the 3 C's philosophy here at the Karl Strauss Brewery.
Yeah, here at Karl Strauss Brewery restaurants, we have the 3 C's philosophy when it comes to food and beer. That's complement, contrast, and cleanse. All has to do with your palate. Complement obviously complements the dish. Uses, just like with the pork chops, uses the same beer that we brine the pork chops with. As a complement to the dish. Contrast, this is an excellent example of contrasting by taking some of that spiciness that's in this dish and cutting it with our dry, bitter IPA. Kind of helps contrast and get that palate ready for your next bite. And then cleanse, anything that's going to clean your palate so you can be ready for your next bite of whatever the dish may be. So that's the 3 C's of what we try to do with the beer here, or excuse me, with the food here at Karl Strauss.
Okay, Matt, now I'm living. Now I'm happy. Beer and a burger.
Well, Peter, this is not just any burger. This is our big beer burger. This patty has been doused with amber lager, one of our beers here. The bacon has been brined with Red Trolley Ale. The mushrooms on top have been sauteed with our Tower 10 IPA, and the steak sauce is made with our Tower 10 IPA. There's multiple layers of flavors that go with this beer. Now, we've paired this beer with our Big Barrel Double IPA, which is an excellent example of a West Coast style IPA. This burger has a lot of flavors going on, a lot of richness. This beer helps cut through that richness and also complements some of the ingredients on this beer. Cuts through the richness, but also complements this heartiness of this ale.
And we've got a dessert here.
This is our beer miso. Unlike traditional tiramisu, The Ladyfingers are soaked in Wreck Alley Russian Imperial Stout instead of espresso, so it kind of gives it a good beer flavor. This beer goes excellent with this dessert because it's sweet, it has some chocolate flavor, it has some coffee in it. I enjoy this as a dessert myself, but it goes and pairs really well with our beer miso.
I think I'm going to try a little bit. Peter Dills signing off from the Karl Strauss Brewery right here in Costa Mesa. And that's Matt Johnson. Thanks a lot, Matt, for the tour.
Thanks for coming, Peter.
Hi everybody, it's Peter Dills. You know, I'm the wine editor for the Pasadena Star News and the San Gabriel Tribune. So I have the luxury of getting to taste a lot of very good wines. And the wine that I want to recommend to you is Stella Rosa Prosecco. You know, with Valentine's Day coming up, it's an award winner, and I highly recommend Stella Rosa for your Valentine's Day celebration. Your loved one will love you even more when you come home with a bottle of Stella Rosa.
When Connie Andrews got married, her maid of honor, Caitlin, made some unauthorized alterations to her dress, and Connie realized Caitlin was not her friend. When Connie got Satellite, she joined the millions who don't get true on-demand, and she realized Satellite was not her friend. Now Connie has Charter, with over 10,000 titles, many free. It's the on-demand she always wanted. Take it from Connie, Satellite is not your friend. Watch over 10,000 titles on demand with Charter.
Hi everybody, it's Peter Dills. You're watching Charter Channel 188. Did you know that I have a radio show? Actually, I have two radio programs. One's live from Santa Barbara every Thursday at 12 noon from AM 1290 KZSB, and from Orange County on Sundays at 12 noon, radio station KLAA AM 830. You can listen to both shows by just going to my website, peterdills.com.
Snatching stuff, oh, what is going on in here?
It's okay, relax. Watch this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, Dave.
Wow,
Is that your agent?
it's the jingle. Try it.
No.
Like a good neighbor.
Just say it.
State Farm is there.
With a sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
And the girl from 4E?
And can I get a hot tub?
Nice.
Find out what else State Farm agents can do for you at yagent.com.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is always there for you. Call your local State Farm rep. His name is T.G. Metzger. His phone number is 626-487-1500. That's T.G. Metzger at 626-487-1500. Hey Long Beach, home of the Queen Mary, it's Peter Dills. You're watching Dining with Dills right here on Charter Channel 188. You know, we're here each and every Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. You need to get a hold of me? You got a great restaurant you want to tell me about? Go to my website, peterdills.com. That's peterdills.com. All right, on with the show. I'm really excited about today's story. Not only are we in Santa Monica, California, right next to the ocean, we're at Sam's by the Beach, a very popular restaurant that's been here for a couple of years. In a couple minutes, I'm going to introduce you to the chef and the owner. His name is Sam Elias. Why am I holding an onion? Friends, this is not just any onion. This is a Walla Walla River sweet onion. And Sam, he specializes in dishes using these onions. So Sam, what did you prepare for us today?
Thank you, Peter. Welcome to my kitchen. The first recipe is actually a family recipe. I'm so happy to show you this one because it's so simple and it's so easy to prepare at home. First, obviously, get your Walla Walla onion. Simple, just clean it up a little bit. And the best trick to get more sugar out of them is when you put them in a bowl, little fresh salt, toss them, leave them for a couple of minutes. So what I like to do is I like to take my onion, which is I have some chopped already, is right here. I have my tomatoes. Take a few slices of each. Now I put my onion together. I like to toss them and leave them for like good 10-15 minutes in the fridge. And to put it together is really easy. I don't like to put the dressing on it. I like to put it as at the end. So basically you can take your slice of tomato, little onion, another nice colored tomato, little more onion. Fresh mint is the best thing you can add to this. Sprinkle on top. I like to put a little balsamic first. Then I'll give it a little olive oil, a little toasted almond. It's very summery, very delicious, beautiful color. You can't ask for a simpler salad than this. My second thing I want to show you is also something you could do, and I'm sure everybody has a recipe for pickling. And we pickled some of the Walla Walla onion, and they're absolutely incredible the way they came out. They're really incredible. The way the sweetness with the vinegar. We put also a little olive oil in there. So again, please come down and try them out, the Walla Walla onions. They are sweet onions, and they're best right now because they are in season. Okay, and this is gonna be my final recipe for you. So we take fresh loin of venison, we ground it. Also I have some of the chopped Walla Walla onion. We put them on top. Little wild thyme. And after what we do, just mix it really nicely together. So after we mix it together, I usually take my pot, little olive oil, not too much salt, just a little salt. And you just need to like saute it, brown it, and then you need to add a little pine nuts to it. And your finished product should look like this. Now the onions. You just drop them in the boiling water for a few minutes. So now after we blanch the onion for a couple of minutes, I remove them and I put them in an ice bath. And the reason why, so we can stop the cooking a little bit, because we're gonna bake them again for a little bit. Like I mentioned, we cut the onions first. When it was a whole onion, we cut a little bit in the bottom, and that will make it easy for you to remove the center a little bit, so you can stop that piece. This is something we serve here at the restaurant as an appetizer. It's not a main course, that's just a little simple appetizer. So you make all your onions, you put them together, you stuff them. So now we put a little vegetable broth in here. So actually we made it also, we put a little Walla Walla onion in there, a little olive oil, just a little bit. We're just creating like a little bath, a little broth. And you just line your onion, obviously you have it overfold, and just cover them with a little aluminum foil. And they don't need much, maximum like 5-10 minutes maximum at 275 room, at the house oven. I guarantee you, your guests, they will love a dish like that. Please come down, enjoy a dish like that in our restaurant, and I hope you enjoyed my recipe, and I look forward to meet you in person.
So that's the story on Walla Walla River sweet onions. Peter Dills signing off from Sam's by the Beach in Santa Monica, California. Hi everybody, it's Peter Dills. I want to introduce you to a brand new sponsor of Dining with Dills. Yeah, you've noticed that the weather is getting a little warmer outside, and I've got the perfect drink for you. It's a sangria. No, friends, not any sangria, a Bodego sangria, available at your local Vons.
When Dennis Walker was in high school, his locker partner Dave stole his girlfriend. And Dennis realized Dave was not his friend. When Dennis got satellite, he also got an unreliable signal. And he realized satellite was not his friend. Now he has Charter and a reliable weatherproof signal, just like thousands of others who switch every month. Take it from Dennis, satellite is not your friend. Get a reliable signal, rain or shine, with Charter.
Hey Pasadena, home of the Rose Bowl. You're watching Dining with Dills with your host Peter Dills right here on Charter Channel 188. We're here each and every Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Charter Channel 188. You need to get a hold of me? Do you got a great restaurant you want to share with me? Go to my website, peterdills.com. That's peterdills.com. Hi everybody, it's Peter Dills. You're watching Dining with Dills right here on Charter 101. That last restaurant that I shared with you, ooh, that made me hungry. Sunday brunch, sure. We're in Santa Ana right now at Avila's Mexican restaurant. What's happening here? Like I just said, it's Sunday brunch. Let's step inside. Let's see why residents have been coming to Avila's for 29 years. Come on, are you hungry?
We enjoy the food here. The food is excellent.
We come to Avila's a couple times a month, and it's one of our favorite places. We come back because the quality of the food is so good.
There are 11 Avila's El Ranchito locations, so why are we here? Because the Santa Ana location is the only restaurant that has the legendary Sunday buffet brunch. I know I promised you that we were going to eat together, but first we got to find out what we're going to eat. So I'm going to introduce you to Elisa Avila. She's going to give us the lowdown. We're in the ballroom. We're not in the ballroom. We're in the Sunday brunch room. Let's see what we've got.
Okay, here we have our popular Sunday brunch. We have our full salad bar. You have all of your American traditional favorites. We have Andreas over here with our famous omelet bar and our fresh pancakes. And then down you have all your Mexican favorites, including chingalingas, pollo and mole, chili Colorado, machaca, we have chorizo and eggs, your huevos rancheros, enchiladas, rice and beans. And what we're really popular for is our menudo and pozole, which is made every Sunday morning, fresh to order, and can be found on our Sunday brunch with all of the fixings. Enjoy, Peter. No, Peter, what are you doing?
I gotta have some
Not
bacon.
yet.
Come on, I'm hungry. Another bonus at Avila's El Ranchito is the tortilla bar. As you can see, the lovely young lady here making tortillas fresh for the Sunday brunch regulars here at Avila's El Ranchito in Santa Ana. You know, I'm always looking out for you. I can't put this in my mouth just yet because it's very hot. Good authority that women flock all the way from Tijuana to Santa Barbara just to see bartender Jesus' smile. Nothing wrong with having a margarita at 10:30 in the morning, right, buddy?
Perfect starts every good Sunday.
Peter, one of the things I was really excited to show you later is our party tray, which you can pick up or we can have it delivered to you. We also have a banquet room that we can see 25 to 50. We up here, no one's here right now, as you can see, but we do have this available for happy hour after work. You can come in with a group of friends, have some margaritas, order some appetizers, some homemade tacos. It's a fun place to get together with your group. And the other thing is downstairs we do have banquet rooms where even on a Sunday brunch you can make a reservation for 50 people. Come here and have your party for your grandmother or your baby shower and leave the rest of us. All of our managers are trained well. Anybody here can help you. We're all happy to help you make your party fun.
Here we have our party pack. It comes with flautas, crispy tacos, chingalinga bites, mini burritos, chips, salsa, and fresh guacamole. That's Grandma's secret recipe. We can't tell you what's in it, but take a bite and you won't put it down. My name is Elise Avila, and I am a third-generation member of the Avila family. And one of the really unique things about our restaurant here in Santa Ana is that we have several long-term employees. In fact, I have actually grown up in this restaurant, and several of the employees have been here since we opened 29 years ago.
Every restaurant has a signature dish. Avila's El Ranchito is no exception. What is it? It's Mama's chicken soup, and it is oh so good. Look at all this shredded chicken. In fact, they tell me they prepare it and shred it every single morning. Look at all that chicken. Oftentimes enough, I'll just come here, sit on the patio, have some of Mama's soup and a glass of champagne or a margarita and some chips, and that's a meal for me. Thank you so much for hosting me for the Sunday brunch. My viewers, I know, are gonna enjoy this story. Sorry for going into the kitchen and looking through all that chicken. It was just so much chicken. They prepared it, Mama prepared it for me, and I appreciate that. I was gonna make it myself, but I think Mama can do a better job than I can.
That's true, Peter. Well, here we have your soup, and it's got onions, cilantro, tomato, and fresh avocado in it. It's delicious.
Let me take a bite. And what did you get?
I got a chili relleno, which they make fresh every morning. They're addicting. And a crispy taco, and of course, some rice and beans with it.
Peter Dills signing off at Avila's El Ranchito Mexican restaurant in Santa Ana with Elise.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey Malibu, home of the waves. It's Peter Dills. You're watching Dining with Dills right here on Charter Channel 188. We're here each and every Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. You got a great restaurant you want to share with me? It's simple. Go to my website, peterdills.com. That's peterdills.com. Hi everybody, it's Peter Dills. Right now I'm in San Diego, California. If you've been watching my segments for the past few years, you know I love champagne. So today we're switching gears a little bit. We're actually at a craft brewery right here in San Diego, Mission Brewery, and they make some delicious craft beers. In a couple seconds we're going to talk to the owner, Dan Sellis, and he's going to take us step by step how he got involved in the craft beer business. But first, we better try the beer. Andy. That's good. On with the show. Dan, I think you've got a funny and a unique story on how this brewery got started.
This started 25 years ago when I was in college, and I was renting a house from this guy, and I asked him one weekend, just randomly, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And he said, I'm brewing beer. And 25 years ago, it wasn't very common to homebrew. And I looked at him and I said, you're brewing beer? That sounds radical. I want to do that. And he said, go buy the kit and the ingredients, and I'll come over and show you how to do it. So I went out, bought all the ingredients. He came over, taught me my first batch. So for the next 15 years, I brewed every month, sometimes every weekend. I started to enter competitions, started to win amateur competitions. And from there, I went through the beer judge certification program, became a certified beer judge, which really increased my beer knowledge to the point where I had the confidence to start Mission Brewery.
Really? I thought this was a college course that you took.
Yeah, well, it went into a few college courses, that's for sure.
The weekends, of course.
Right, of course.
All right, so give me a tour of the brewery. How is beer made?
Okay, sure, absolutely. The process starts from the barley that's in our silo. We use different types of barley. Some of the grains are roasted a little darker, chocolate, malt, crystal malts, etc. Depending on the recipe and the type of beer that we're making will depend on what kind of grains we're using. If it's a stout, there's a lot of dark malts. If it's an IPA, there's some crystal malts in it. From that point, it travels through an auger into our mash tun, where the grain is combined with hot water at just the right temperature to convert starches to sugars. We turn on sprinkled fountains over the top. It's called a sparge, which pulls the sweet juice out of the grain and pushes it into the kettle. At that point, we have what's called wort. We boil the beer for 60 to 90 minutes and add hops. Most beers are balanced between the sweetness of the malt and the bitterness of the hops. So adding the proper amount of hops into the kettle is very important. Too many hops, it's too bitter. Too few hops is too sweet. And again, depending on the type of beer that you're making, you want to have that balance just right. So in the kettle, We do our initial hopping that adds the bitterness. Midway towards the end, we add more hops, and that adds the flavor, top flavor to the beer. And at the very end of the boil, we'll add more hops that adds aroma. From there, the beer gets pushed through a heat exchanger, cools it down into a fermenter, where we add yeast to ferment the beer. So different yeast strains depending on, again, the type of beer. The German yeast strain for an authentic Bavarian Hefeweizen, or an American yeast strain for the IPAs. After about a week, fermentation is complete. We can filter the beer and push it into a bright tank, which is the final step of the process. In the bright tank, we carbonate the beer and then can package it in bottles, kegs, and cans.
And
you're finished.
And speaking of the cans, you are the only craft beer company in the United States that is actually doing a 32-ounce can.
That's true. We had a canning machine that was built specifically for Mission Brewery, and right now, as far as I know, it is the only line of its type in existence.
And the end result?
Delicious beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey Jenny, what's going on?
Here?
Yeah, I'm here, and you know the greatest thing about coming to a brewery is that some of the beers that you have on tap, in the bottles, in the cans, are not available yet for retail and for restaurants. So that's exciting to me.
Absolutely, such as our Cortez Gold Belgian style blonde ale. It was a very popular style in our tasting room, and we decided to offer it to the general public in 32-ounce cans. So Peter, just remember this is a working brewery, and people can come right into our tasting room and enjoy all these wonderful beers.
That's Jenny from Mission Brewery. I'm Peter Dills, and we're signing off from the Mission Brewery here in San Diego. Hey Paso Robles, it's Peter Dills. You're watching Dining with Dills right here on Charter Channel 188. We're here each and every Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. If you got a great restaurant or a winery that you want to share with me, just go to my website, peterdills.com. That's peterdills.com.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hi everybody, it's Peter Dills. You know I'm the wine editor for the Pasadena Star News, and I'm always looking for great wines. Just recently, I came back from Paso Robles, the wine country, and I stopped by the Madalena Vineyards. And I am certainly glad I did. I picked up this bottle of 2010 Cabernet Sauvignon, and it is tasty. So tasty, I recommend it to you. It's available at your local Vons.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
Well, you know what they say in show business? Well, that's a wrap. You can join us each and every Saturday and Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here on Charter Channel 188. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to my website, peterdills.com. That's peterdills.com. And before I say goodnight, good eats to you, and good night.
You're dining with Dills.